Hey guys, I thought that I would take it back to the beginning and do a sit down video today. Hello.
Good morning, life. Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above.
You wanna come in? Okay. So today I thought I'd talk about being 20 in 2023. This baby won't let me speak. He's gonna get his toy to show you. Oh, you brought a toy! Look at this. He has skinned it. Oh, you want me to throw it? Ready? Ready? That's a bit of a shit throw. Really? I'm trying to film a YouTube video and now you want to play fetch? I've written down a lot of how I feel about this. By the age 20, you kind of feel as if you should have your life all together. I mean, you've got friends at completely different points of their life. I've got friends having kids, getting engaged, still at uni, still at college. It's all very confusing. Like, people are moving out, they can drive. It's really hard to know where you should be at this age. Kind of feels like you have no idea whether you're on track or whether you're getting left behind or whether you're leaving your friends behind. And I think it's normal to kind of outgrow your friends and stuff, but what if you're the one they're outgrowing? I feel like as well you have the pressures of society and like parents and grandparents saying all kinds of things. You may have a grandparent that got married at 17, or people that say, oh, but you're so young, you have your whole life ahead of you, or I wish I was that age again. And it's so confusing because you want to feel like you're making the most of your 20s, but at the same time it's like you have no idea where you're supposed to be. There is no right or wrong answer. You could have a career change at 45, you could go traveling in your 60s. There's so much in life that you can do whenever, but I feel like being young and being 20 and people are like, oh, you've got to do it now, and my biggest regret was I didn't do this. And it's all about doing it how you want to do it. I think because you go through school and like you do your GCSEs at 16 and then you go into a college, what do you do when you're 20? If you don't go to uni, you're now on a completely different path to all of your friends, and it's really difficult. Thinking about it as well, like your co-workers, you could work with someone who's 17 still in college, or you could work with someone in their 60s who's planning their retirement, but you're in the same job, you're in the same industry, you're doing the same 9 to 5. Another thing is like social media makes us compare so much to everyone, but it doesn't show the hardships that they've been through. It's so easy to compare yourself to people on social media, especially like, I don't know if you've watched this season's Love Island. Most of the people on there are like 20, 21, and I just look at these people and think, these are women, like I'm a child compared to them, but we're the same age. And it's just so crazy that they've got their lives together and they look this certain way. And I know money does play a big part in it, and obviously your upbringing and stuff. It's so easy to compare your ages with these people who are doing so different in their lives. But then saying that, there's probably people that compare themselves to me and think like, oh, she does dance teaching and she works here and she's doing YouTube. And like, I guess when you think about it that way, you could compare yourself to absolutely anyone in this world. This year has been super confusing for me. I mean, I left Starbucks, I got a new job, I had big plans for this year. I was going to grind this year, do so much overtime and save so much money, and then next year I wanted to do a big holiday with Harrison and then look at moving out, because I saved so much money last year working at Starbucks. And then this year I was like, well, I'm in a career now, I've got a good paying job and I can afford to save a lot more money, so it's so much more doable. And then I turned 20 and had all of this pressure to suddenly grow up almost. I don't feel like I'm there yet. I'm not an adult yet. Next thing I knew, I couldn't cope with everyday life and my anxiety was getting the better of me, and now I've been off work for 2 months, which is not what I had planned at all. And I'm one of those people that I set all of these plans and I'm so determined to get them done, and I do them, and to suddenly not even be able to get out of bed most days, that is so alien for me. It's so weird. I hate it, and I just feel like I've almost let myself down, because I really did want to achieve my goals this year and I had such a steady life plan. But then looking at it, I'm also only 20 and I shouldn't have my life figured out yet, and it's okay if I needed to take some time, because the main thing is that I'm okay and that I'm getting through it. And I think like being off has made me reflect so deeply on this topic, and kind of made me realise like I am in control of my life. Like I was saying, like when you go to school and you do your GCSEs at 16 and then you go to college, and then you're out in the world for yourself, and nobody's going to tell you how to do it. No one tells you what job to go for, they don't tell you anything really, and you've got to try and figure it out on your own. And no wonder I'm getting stressed out, no wonder I'm putting so much pressure on myself, because there's no rule book on how to live your 20s. Times change. This is everybody in the world's first time being in 2023. Nobody knows what's going to make history yet, and everyone's going through it together. I think as well for our generation, obviously COVID took 2 years from us. I was just turned 17 the week before we went into lockdown, and I missed out on 17. I missed out my 18th birthday. I had my 18th birthday at home with my bubble, like playing card games. I think I went to bed at like 10 o'clock on my 18th birthday, didn't even get drunk, and like I missed out on that big moment. And then it's like suddenly you're back at college and you've got to finish it, and you've not seen anyone for almost 2 years properly, and social distancing, and then getting a job and having to wear masks, and nobody had gone through that before, and it was also alien to everyone. But then you've got these 17, 18-year-olds who are trying to figure themselves out, and were supposed to use that college time to make an identity for themselves and find their friends and find their people, and you didn't get it. Missed out on a lot of college life, and then feel as if I was almost thrown into adulting. I mean, I was 18, left college, and it's like, right, you got to get a job, that's the next step. Ziggy, get down, you're not allowed on the table, get down. So while I've been off, I've just kind of been reflecting where I want to be, because I've sort of realised that because there is no rules and guidelines of where I should be, you're comparing yourself to everyone, but you can't, because you're all at completely different stages of your life. I've realised as well, as long as I'm alive and I'm happy, nothing else matters. Whether I change my job next week, nobody's really gonna care. It's my life, I'm living it. Recently as well, like I'm going back to work next week, and Harrison said to me the other day, he was like, you seem a lot happier. And I think it is, not only am I on now double the amount of antidepressants, but I'm ready to get my life back. I've kind of had the time to reflect, I've had the time to breathe, I've had the time to relax, and now I'm ready to get back out there. I am the only one that is holding myself back from reaching my goals. Whether they're realistic or not, I can still do them, but only I can. And it's all about taking accountability of your actions and your goals, and kind of just having that outlook that you're the only one that can make it happen. I need to stop feeling guilty and start enjoying what I am doing and where I am going. I think as well it's been hard because like you get to this age and you feel like you should have it all figured out and that you should know everything, and you've got all of these younger people looking up to you and then older people looking down on you, and you're grown up but you're still a child, and like it's so hard to do your own thing without listening to other people. With hobbies, like with dance, you go from being like the youngest and you obviously move up and you look up to the girls older than you, and then suddenly you're the oldest one in the class, and then next thing you know you're 20 years old and the people in your class are 15, 16, 17, and like that's a massive age gap. I have a lot of friends that have just turned 18, but then you've also got like friends that are like 24, and it's such a weird age to be. I look at my sister, for example, and she's 15 years old and she's so much grown up than I was at 15. I mean, it's crazy. It's scary. It's really scary. I mean, I sat down with her yesterday and we was looking at what she wants to do at college, because she has not got a clue. And I had my life figured out when I was 16, and now I'm 20 and I'm like, actually, maybe I don't have it figured out. So I feel like everybody gets to that point, but whether you're 16, 14, 20, 24, like, you're all gonna hit that stage where you're like, actually, I don't know what the fuck I want to do with my life. And I think that that's completely normal. You could have that when you're 45. You could change your whole career, you could go traveling, like, you could quit your job. As long as you're alive and you're happy, that is truly all that matters. I don't know, I've just been reflecting on it, and I thought that I'd make a video because I feel like there's a lot of people that I've kind of briefly talked to this about, and we all kind of feel the same. At the end of the day, you know who is supporting you and you know who's not. And I think it's totally okay if you need to cut people off because they're no longer serving you and no longer helping you grow or supporting you and your goals. Then you don't need them. They're doing their own thing. I've just had way too much time to reflect. I don't know if any of this is making any sense.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I want